Eja Norte. He was the one who performed what we call the Gbeshi for a queer free year, and Osetutu, the first was born. So the first thing that Kwame Nkrumah did to cripple the Osu people from becoming popular or strong was to capture our shrine. So he coercively deceived our elders and told them he just wanted to make that place look nice. We have the airport in Osu. We have the yes, the airport is in Osu. It's not in Labadi.
Airport?
Yes, the Kotoka International Airport is in Osu. Oh, the Jubilee House is in Osu. Land Commission is in Osu. All the ministries that governs Ghana is in Osu. Osu and the Ghans, all we enjoy Komi. Do you know Komi? Kenke. Yes. And Bangkok. And then Osu has a typical food which we call amanya. Do you know amanya?
No.
In the tree people call it kokonte.
Ah, face the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
We enjoy it very much.
Okay.
In Ghana, you cannot have a child from the Kwate family and say he is called Ajima. No, we don't do that. Oh, let's name him after his uncle. No, we don't do that. Aja, Fred, Aja.
You have other tribes having day born. So Monday is Ajwa, Tuesday Abna, but the Ghana, they don't have. Is there any particular reason?
We have.
Okay.
But they change slightly. Ajwa is Ajo.
But that sounds away.
But we are the same related people. We are all the Lakple people. The Lakple people, yes.
Okay.
We are the same people. You see? Yeah. And you get to the Wednesday born, we call her Aku.
Oh, okay.
The man of a Thursday born is known as Kwao. You see? So we have those names.
Just I don't use it often.
We don't use them often.
Okay. The occupation, what's the main occupation of the Osu people?
Originally, our occupation was pottery and then baking of agri beads. These beads. Okay. And pottery. Yeah. That is why our Shipidudo here is known as Shipidudo. Shipi the pot.
So one who makes.
He makes pot. He is the original Shipi in the main ancient line, ancestral line. He supports the Wor-Lumor from days of old. So for him to be recognized, because we have several Shipis, so for him to be recognized, he is known as Shipi Dudo. Dudo is the pot.
Okay. So, but has the mode of occupation changed? Because we have a lot of guns doing fishing.
Drastically. The Europeans came in and then our fathers started working with them. So most of them, if you study the Ghana working ecology, you will see that most of them were administrative officers and then especially accountants and then storekeepers, because they were working with the Europeans. They were taking stocks from their shops and other things. So our traditional business, our intrinsic business changed due to the European coming in. We were the first people to have some people we call mulatto. It is not mulatto. Historians are saying it's a Portuguese word. It is not. We have a tradition. When a girl marries a man and the man fails to perform the marriage rites or pay her dowry, that girl's child is known as Mlatolobi. You see, so these Europeans, when they came in here, they started marrying our daughters and our sisters without paying their dowries because they have the colonial power. You can't go to the castle to chase him to come and pay the dowry. So they had children with these, our sisters, without performing any rites for them. So we call them Mlatolobi. So they are the mulattoes. It is not a Portuguese word, no.
Oh, Okay. But
Mlaton lobby, that is lawbreakers.
So the name given to the lady, Mlatolobi.
It is not the lady, the child.
The child, sorry. So it's
that have cast.
Yes, the lawbreaker's child.
Yes.
That's what the
that
word
is what it means. Or Mlaton lobby.
Mlatolobi. Okay.
So it came to be corrupted and known as mulatto. There's nothing like mulatto.
Oh. We have a lot of infiltrations
yes.
in the
yes.
tribe. Okay. So I want to go back to naming what the Ghanaians call Pojemo. Briefly, can you take us through the process of Pojemo?
Okay, when you go into the Bible, the omnipotent creator of the universe ordered us that when you have a child, on the 8th day, that child must be named. And now there is a rite attached to this, which as time went on, it is going into oblivion. But let me remind my people today. If you have a child who is a boy, the woman remains unclean for 40 days. The woman who delivered the baby remains unclean for 40 days. So for 40 days, she has no right even going into the family house where they perform typical religious rites. She doesn't go there. But on the 8th day, that boy has to be circumcised and named by the elders of the family, of the father's family. They come together, the mother's family and the father's family come together, then they choose the name for according to our nomenclature. And what we typically do is that we introduce that boy into the world. One, we use corn wine. And we tell the child, the young baby, that we put some drops of this corn wine in on his tongue, and we tell the child, Ba noba ye abele. Ba noba ye abele simply means, idiomatically means, he needs to come to live, not to die. We are giving him life. Then we give him water so that he will have breath. Then we give him the name. The next thing we do is, these days we have corrugated roofing sheets. These days we have corrugated roofing sheets. We put the roofing sheets, we put the child at the edge of the roofing sheet on the ground, naked. Then we throw water on the roof. So when the water falls on the child, he gets a little shock. To tell you or signify that there is there are things you will face in life which will shock you, which you have to be brave to face them. So we bless you by that, and then the name is given. So the male-born child's mother becomes unclean for 40 days, and the female-born child's mother goes unclean for 60 days.
20 days more?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because she's a female.
Okay.
You see, females, according to the scripture, has a lot of unclean fishes. That is why Adonai, or the creator of the universe, did not allow them to become priests.
Okay, but this Pojemo, I've noticed that it's going into oblivion. What do you think accounts for it? Is it Christianity or?
It's the Christianity. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Because if I want to go there, then I'll begin to preach, because I'm a Judaist. So I don't want to go there. It is these, our so-called, what I'll call the charismatic churches, who wants to draw people, congregation, and get the money that they want to get. So they deceive these, our mothers that and our fathers or our brothers that our ritual or our rites of Pojimo is fetish. Just like the white people came to tell us through their Christian Bibles that our religion is fetish. Meanwhile, our religion is not fetish. Let me enlighten you on something. Let me enlighten you on something. And when you go to England, the queen is sitting on a chair they call a throne. You go to Netherlands, the same. You go to all these European countries where you have monarchs, they are sitting on thrones. Why is it that our monarch sits on stool? Have you ever found the dictionary meaning of the name, the word stool? When you get into the medical laboratory, stool means, excuse me to say, the excreta that we leave in the joints. And when you come to the English, Oxford Dictionary English, stool means something that you place your foot on. A low seat that you can place your foot on. So you see, by this naming of our thrones, they have degraded our chiefs. The British, the colonial masters, they degraded our chiefs. But they call their chairs thrones, and they call ours stool, and they call the chair of God also thrones. So they are gods to us, and they are not gods to us. No. We are holier than them. They came to kill and steal. They came to kill and steal our minerals and our goods, and even stole our human resource, take our people away as slaves. So we are cleaner than them. This is what our people should begin to learn and know. Why do they call our religion fetish? Go to England, let them name a ship. When the queen is naming a ship, she performs libation and then throws the whiskey bottle against the ship. What does that signify? What does that signify? Is that not also fetish? Is that not fetish? It's fetish. If you go into the church and you take a bread and you say it is the body of somebody who is dead, is that not fetish? It is fetish. So why do you condemn mine when I also pray to my Obama? Why? And you people believe them and then you look down on your own religion. No. No, it's very sad. No. It shouldn't happen. They are trying to capture our mentality through religion. They are trying to capture our sovereignty through religion. If your religious enclave is captured, you are nobody. If that is what Louis Farrakhan said, if you allow somebody to have control over the diameter of your life, then you end up controlling the circumference of your activities. And that is it. You see, so our religion is the first religion on earth. Christianity just came by introduction. What is Christianity? Even Christ did not introduce himself as the head of any church. No. Christ never said that. I want the pastor to come into this room, take the Bible and tell me this is the quotation where Christ said this is my church. No. It was said after his death. And why was Saint Paul captured? You call some people Saint Thomas, Saint so and so, Saint so and so. I'm also Saint Osekan. Yes. You see, that is it.
So it means, I don't know how to put this question, but it means the Ghanaians do not, Osu people do not read the Bible, even if they read probably the Old Testament.
Osu people read the Bible. They go to church.
Okay.
We have the Presbyterian church here, we have the Methodist, we have the Roman Catholic. We have the apostolic churches, the other charismatic churches, the Pentecost. We have them all here. You see, the system is being changed. We don't want it to change. But the people of the new world system who wants to rule the world are psychologically changing things. And we are not seeing it. Someone wants to build a cathedral for the whole of Ghana, and he has come to demolish our properties and says he's coming to build a cathedral for the whole of Ghana. Who asked him that Ghana wants a cathedral? We have a cathedral at the castle there. We have our cathedral. The shrine is there. Go to Israel, as I'm talking to you. You find the shrine of Elijah. You find the shrine of David. You find the shrine of Jeremiah. They are all there. You find the shrine of Abraham. And even when you go to Mecca, the rock on which Abraham was about to sacrifice his son is there, and they call it Qibla. And you want me to leave my religion. For what reason? When they took that power away from us, that is where they took our intelligence from us. So our brains are presently, as I'm telling you, our brains are still virgin. We have never used it.
But
trust me. Trust me. The black man's brain is still virgin. We have never used our brain. Tell me, which black man brought in the alphabets, which we read A, B, C, D at school? Which black man? Tell me. Tell me. The Guy Bible, the Tree Bible, the English Bible. Tell me who wrote them. Which black man? So our brains are still virgin. We have accepted things that we don't even understand. That is why we are failing to develop.
But in your opinion, what do you think we can do to emancipate ourselves from mental freedom?
We need to get near our elders, trust them, have faith in our religion, begin to learn the intrinsic core of our existence as Ghanaians and the various tribes. Then we shall begin to emancipate slowly from there.
Who are the prominent people that have churned out from Osu?
The latest one I'll call it the Speaker of Parliament. Then we had General J. A. Ankra.
You have who?
General J. A. Ankra.
Okay.
Then Akwaje. Then this man, Dawona Hamu, who was then the Minister of Education. Dr. K.B. Asante is also from Osu. And then Mr. Quist, the first Speaker of Parliament, Quist, E.C. Quist was also from Osu. And then a lot of them.
Amongst the prominent people, is it true that Tetekwashi
comes from Osu, and that is his house just across the street.
Oh, okay.
That house across the street where this man hails from, that is the Jasich's house, that is Tetekwashi's house.
Okay. Are there any problems Osu face? What are some of the problems Osu face currently?
In what way? Politically or socially?
Everything.
Everything. We are presently bedeviled with a chieftaincy litigation, which is being promulgated by all the sitting governments. All the sitting governments. Our chief was installed in 1984 and had his name gazetted, placed in the Register of Chiefs in 1986. But by what I will call, I would say it is some sort of thaumaturgy. because we just actually can't understand. Nobody can come from primary school and straight away, when he is going step by step from class to class, then his rise in classes will be truncated by another person who will go to the university with his name. I've never heard this before. That someone will start from class 1. When he gets to Form 1, and he is supposed to enter into a secondary school, then he will be dropped, and then another person will go to the secondary school with his name. Is that possible? That is what we are experiencing in Osu. We had a divisional council with a chief who was a member of the Ghana Traditional Council. When Osu had a paramountcy and Osu have to have a traditional council, another person was placed on the stool as the president of that traditional council, and the divisional chief was left in oblivion. And who did that? Osu never did this. It were the politicians who did that. So we are bedeviled with a chieftaincy litigation, which was brought upon us by the politicians.
Okay, but has the council or Wor-Lumor or the other chiefs, I mean, had a meeting with these political leaders on how best to
lot of meetings. We've had a lot of meetings, petitions upon petitions, court issues upon court issues. But what we cannot say because we believe in our judges, our court judges. We believe in them, so we don't want to go into an area where we will say we don't trust them. No.
So would you say Osu is divided?
Seriously.
What do you think can be done about it?
We are fighting. We are trying to bring the people together, and some of the elders who are supposed to be on the traditional council have died, and their stools are vacant. So now what I intend to do as the Wor-Lumor is to install all those people. When they come to sit and they become legitimate traditional office holders, then we will see how we will get the traditional council reconstituted. Okay. Formerly, Osu was under the Accra Metropolitan Authority, but we now have our Krote Municipal Assembly, which is our own. I think it's still young, so we don't want to talk about their shortfalls and other things. It's still young. We are yet to meet them and then tell them our needs and wants, so that they will know what to do for us. Economically, we are poor, because most of our lands have been taken by the government as government acquired lands. And our revenue too has been kept by the Stool Lands Administration with the pretext that we have to unite before they give us the money. Who is uniting Osu? And what is our unity has to do with our money with them. Our unity has nothing to do with our money. They have to give us our money.
How are you fighting for that?
Well, we send petitions and it falls on deaf ears. I don't want to go into an area where I will be termed as a political Wor-Lumor. No, I don't want to go there.
So, Nuumo, Kpenuku, we are wrapping up our discussion, but I want to find out, do you have any words, anything else to add up to this interesting conversation?
Okay. I would want the whole world to know that Osu is being besieged by politicians. I don't know if it is for the primeness of our lands, because most of the government establishments from the colonial era is in Osu. And I don't remember when the colonial masters handed our properties over to the Ghana government, because all our properties that were given to the colonial masters were signed in what we call an indenture or agreement between the chiefs, the elders of Osu, and the colonial masters. And therefore, by simple logic, if the colonial masters do not want that property again and they are going, then the ownership automatically reverts to the Alodia owners. But now the government is saying they own all Osu lands. That has made us poor. That has made us poor. The missionaries who also came and begged us for our lands to establish churches and schools, they have now turned around to take school fees from us, and we give them our lands, especially the Presbyterian Church. I'm saying it for them to know. They gave us 2 kegs of wine, 2 kegs of gunpowder, and took just about some 5 acres of our land. But now the 5 acres have been extended into almost a quarter of a mile. And our children have to pay school fees when they go to their schools. No scholarships. And when even we have something, we have a ceremony or something and we needed their halls, their conference halls, we need to pay. We have to pay, which we are not happy at all about. We are not happy about that. We want them to know. Tell them we want them to know that we will come at them very soon. Yes. Because if we give something to you free, you also have to give us something free. But if you take our property and then you have to take money from us, then it looks like you are the people who started the poll tax. So you also very soon in the future begin to bombard us. And that is very wrong. It's something that we don't want. Then we want the government also to understand. If they have a constitution who they believe in, like the Christians believe in their Bible, and they are telling us that parliamentarians and the government has nothing to do, they are sacrosanct to tradition, then they should be sacrosanct to tradition and allow us to choose whoever we think should be chief or paramount chief for Osu, and not the government, because a child will be born before he is given a name. But now, today, what we see in chieftaincy, a gazette from an administrative institution makes someone a chief, and that is not the law. We are very much angry about that.
So Nuumo Kpenuku, thank you so much. We are really grateful to have you here with us.
You're
on
welcome.
People and Places. Thank you for the enlightenment about the history of Osu, its people, the traditions, and everything about Osu. I myself, for instance, have been really educated. I'm really grateful. Thank you. And to your elders and chiefs as well, thank you for the time.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sticking with us on this edition of People and Places. It's been the history of Osu and its people. My name is Florence Na Oyokwote.
Migabo ya